What's up, chaps and chappets? It's your boy Mbirchy. So I'm doing this podcast on Star Wars Battlefront. Probably going to do it every single week, like a weekly thing on Saturday. Now, one of the reasons I'm actually doing it is purely because I need a bit of time to sort of recuperate and get like into a proper editing schedule so I can edit a video a day ahead of its release. Because at the moment, I'm making a video and then releasing it the same day. And because it's taking like 7 hours to edit, if I can't make up my mind on what type of video I want to make, then I'm just going to start falling behind. And then that's what always happens to me on YouTube. So this is going to give me a bit of time to edit on my next video, as well as the fact that it's kind of more of a raw video, which a lot of you guys might like, as well as talking about some topics to do with Battlefront just in general as well, which I haven't really talked about before. So I'm going to start off with a loot crate controversy, you might say. It's been like a big topic on Reddit, on EA Star Wars Reddit, which is definitely worth a read. So the initial system that was put into play, which has now been kind of ridiculed by the whole community, was the loot crate system with no alternative to earn star cards or crafting points or anything like that. So you could either buy crystals, which would be able to get them instantly, much like in FIFA, where you can get FIFA points and then get packs instantly. So that would be your sort of your fast ticket, almost like a almost like going to a theme park and skipping through the queue or whatever to the front of a queue type thing. And that would enable you to sacrifice money instead of time to get all of the items. And then you can either do that or just grind up. But the problem is that at the moment, there's no system, and there still isn't any system, although they have taken away the pay-to-win crystal method, where you get crystals through buying them. They've stayed with it just for now anyway. But there's no system put in play that's going to give you more credits based on where you finish in Galactic Assault. So in this game, for example, you see where I finish in a bit, but let's say, like, in loads of the games, I'm getting the MVP, and also in Heroes versus Villains, or around about the top 5. And then in Heroes versus Villains, we've won, like, 20 games in a row, because when you get a full squad, it's so easy to win games. And there's no extra amount of credits that we're getting, like, every game. Yes, there are challenges which we're fulfilling, but that's not really good enough, like, at the moment in terms of earning credits and star cards, because I've put so much hours. I think I'm thinking maybe over 48 hours into this game, and I'm nowhere near, like, where I should be, I feel like in terms of unlocks. Like, because I'm not at the max star cards for anything other than Rey and Kylo Ren, and those were the two characters where if you pre-order them, you get the max star cards instantly. So it's like, it's just a bit stupid. I was able to get them instantly compared to 48 hours of grinding, and I haven't really got anywhere near that, to be honest, in terms of, like, purple star cards or anything. So that is the big controversy at the moment. They did take away the crystals, but I do feel like they need to update the credit system. They have actually slightly changed it so that when you level up, I think they give you like 1,000 credits or something, but I'm already like ranked 25, and I only level up like once every 10 games or something stupid, so that's nowhere near enough credits. So that definitely needs to change. I would like to say, though, like, the game is much better than Battlefront 1 in terms of Star Wars, EA Battlefront 1, I should say. In terms of the actual gameplay, it feels much more fluid, especially on Heroes versus Villains with the force push mechanics, where you can actually get pushed off a cliff, which is so epic. As you might have seen my Yoda force push montage. Quick little shout out to that video right there, plugging it shamelessly, of course. But in terms of just the general mechanics and the feel of the game, it does actually feel much, much better. Because I literally went back on Battlefront 1 the other day, and it felt absolutely shocking in comparison with the speed of it. I think the most noticeable difference is on Heroes versus Villains because of the added, like, dodging mechanics with lightsaber heroes and with gun heroes and all the rest of it. So it is a much better game. But another thing I'd like to say, just in terms of the sort of pay to win, that type of argument as well, they did originally say that they weren't going to have DLC, because the main problem with the original Battlefront was that the DLC was split in the community. So there was like the Outer Rim DLC, Death Star DLC, and I think it was like the Scarif Rogue One DLC. I think there was one other map pack or something like that. And because of this, let's say the Death Star DLC and all of the DLCs out, right? And I go on the first DLC, I think, which was the Outer Rim. There'd be no one playing it, and there were certain challenges where you had to unlock certain... where you had to go on certain game modes to unlock certain things, and there's just no one playing it, so it's so difficult to get. So they've scrapped that because it basically split the community, as they've said. But they replaced it with arguably a much worse system, which is the Crystal's pay-to-win system of the star cards and loot box grinding. Now, it would be more forgivable if there was another way other than loot boxes of earning these star cards. Like, if there was a store where you could purchase star cards, because the problem is that I open a hero crate, right? Let's say I want to upgrade Palpatine. I'm going to get star cards for every single hero, and I don't care about half of them. Like, if you get one for Iden Versio, I'm salty, I'm not going to lie, because I'm never going to use her. So there's no way of me, say, going onto a trading market and saying, goodbye Iden Versio star card. It's just going to be there. So I can't do anything with that. It's basically worthless to me. So that just makes it even worse. So if they at least had something as well as a loot crate, like a trading market, like they have on FIFA, I'm not gonna compliment FIFA though. It's even worse. Nonetheless, I do kind of prefer even this grind, even though it's so bad. To get all of this star cards, I do kind of prefer it to DLC because I don't want to be paying £40 just to get maps. Because currently you are getting the content for free, to be fair. Like, you are getting all of the maps for free, which is decent. But the problem is that if this did succeed, and thankfully it hasn't, because Disney have had a massive row with EA, and EA, I think their stock market, I think, has dropped by like 3 billion or something like that. But the good thing is with this, the fact that it's failed means that other companies, other gaming companies aren't going to follow suit. Because the gaming industry in general, compared to where it was when the original Battlefront 2 came out, it's just such a mess with the AAA titles. Like, you think of the original Battlefront 2, loads more heroes, loads more maps from launch. I don't think it had any DLC. If it did, I definitely don't think you had to pay for it. I don't think there was any DLC. And it had everything from launch. Whereas now, you're having games where they have... where they're bringing across these loot box systems from mobile gaming. So you're hoping that now this is absolutely flopped, that other companies are going to look at this and think, what an absolute mess, I don't want to get involved with this. And then the DLC as well, you see it in everything. Call of Duty World War II has got loot boxes and DLC, although I think the loot boxes are restricted to cosmetic items. Still don't really like it that much. The AAA industry is just an absolute mess right now compared to where it was. And you think of like the innovation as well, just the general innovation in games. One of the Battlefront games on PSP, there was a game where you could get in a starship and go from the planet out of the atmosphere and into a spaceship, like a frigate. How sick is that? And then in this, like, there's nothing close to that. And this is like a good 6 years onwards. And we're talking a PSP. A PSP compared to the technology that is in play now. So there's a lack of innovation. The companies are absolutely milking it. Destiny is probably the worst one out of them all. Activision are just an absolute mess. EA are terrible as well. But yeah, it's in terms of what needs to be added though. I feel like we need to see more Clone Wars stuff. Well, actually, no, more stuff in general of everything. Because they've actually had to have every single hero on all of the eras or whatever. So even when you're playing on like a Stormtrooper Rebel era Galactic Assault map, you still have the option to be a hero from every era. And the reason this is, to be honest, is just because there isn't enough heroes of each individual era at the moment. So they've had to replace it with having every single era put together on every single Galactic Assault map, which is kind of a mess. But they need to add, I feel like they need to add Count Dooku. These are the ones that I want to see the most. Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and also Palpatine from the first 3 films, or more specifically episode 3 with a red lightsaber. I really want to see that. I think that would actually be really good, because just him with Sith lightning I don't know, it kind of doesn't really do him justice in a way because, yeah, it's just not as good as he is with a lightsaber. But yeah, definitely would be sick. Wait, actually, did I mention Mace Windu? I don't think I did. Mace Windu as well. Probably is my #1. Him and Count Dooku. But yeah, they definitely need to be added. And I'm sure there's a load of other heroes. I can't think of them right now from... I mean, just I don't know, Kit Fisto, Ki-Adi-Mundi... Loads more. Loads more. So, Jango Fett as well. Like, they need to add so much more heroes to the game. Hero Troopers as well. Like... And also... Oh, hang on. Wait. This is a big one. In terms of what they should do right now, they're actually saying... that although they have taken away or rescinded, you might say, the pay-to-win, so to speak, method of having crystals, the virtual currency, they said they are going to bring it back. But if they are going to bring it back, like a lot of people have said on Reddit and stuff like that, they should just have cosmetics like Overwatch and a lot of other games are doing these days. I think Call of Duty might actually be the same, like I mentioned earlier. But they could easily do it. Like, they could have... loads and loads of really good skins for clone troopers, like for 501st, for stormtroopers, or I think that might, I can't remember whether that's clone troopers or it might actually be both. I'm pretty sure the 501st carried across, but the Republic Commando series, they could have some really cool ones for that. Palpatine's Royal Guards, and I don't know, like a load of different stuff like that can be implemented. Like, there's so much different skins that could be added. There's no excuses, man. There's no excuses on why they can't do that. There just needs to be more customization in general. But nonetheless, that may be a bit of a disorganized sort of podcast. Like, I've never done this sort of thing before, I'll be honest. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Okay, so just to summarize the loot box situation and everything like that, the loot box system was an absolute mess. It's very good that they took it away for now. Although it probably will be back, I hope it is going to be just cosmetic items. The whole problem with this system in the first place is that if other companies saw this being successful, then almost every game you play in the future might be pay to win and like the mobile games, which is just going to be an absolute mess. So it's very good that it didn't succeed. And also, just in general, I feel like the AAA games at the moment are just trying to milk as much money from the consumer as they can. Really, really good to see that the community has been successful in seeing this change for Battlefront. So anyway, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll see you on the next Mbirchy episode.